apologize. I thought it was by far the best game we've played. I think that it was the best 37 minutes in November that we have played since I have been here. Extremely pleased with how hard they played, which was a direct reflection of their field goal percentage. I thought that every single guy that played the first 37 minutes was absolutely hitting the ceiling, nearly every single possession on both ends of the floor. The last 3 minutes and 9 seconds, they scored 10 points, which was 25% of the points that they scored for the night. That's not good enough. That's not me being negative and trying to overcoach, but that's the difference between being good and great. We do not have enough margin for error to overcome 3 minutes of hapless play, but I'm extremely excited that we played 37 minutes, which was by far the most consecutive number of minutes we've played thus far, not even close. So,
with Orlando less than a week away now, does this really make you feel good as a coach? You're never comfortable, I understand, but just kind of seeing the guys come together and put together almost a complete performance like this?
I think that we're trending in the right direction. I know that in most worlds, Thursday at Thanksgiving is not too long away, but in the world that we live in, or the culture that we've created, it's an eternity away. And not to dodge your question, we have to get better. I have watched Xavier. They're good enough to go to the Sweet 16. Creighton plays a distinct style of play offensively, and Coach Beeline may be one of the best head coaches in the country, and what they do defensively and the guys that he's recruited in the time that he's been there have bought into that, fit that. The guys that were left over when he was hired have joined with those guys that he signed. They're really good, and if we don't play 40 minutes at the absolute best we can play, we have no chance to win a game. And if we do play the best we can play, we'll have a chance, but only a chance. So we've got to work tomorrow, we've got to work Monday, and we've got to play a lot better on both ends of the floor on Tuesday. But I thought that up until this point, with our practices, with the new guys, and what we did, I thought we were really good.
Almost a triple-double from Dwight. Is that the kind of game that you envision him bringing from Indian Hills? You're not expecting a triple-double every night, but that balance across the board.
I think he is a scorer, and we definitely need that. But I've told you, and I've told anybody, including our team, there needs to be a fight to see who is first in our team for rebounding. That fight should come down to Lazar and Jimmy. And Dwight needs to average about 5.8 rebounds a game in order for us to have a chance. We're too small when the shot goes up to count on our big guys to rebound, because our big guys are going to have to be fighting like crazy to ensure that the guy that they're guarding doesn't get the rebound. So our guards are going to have to go in there and rebound. And I think his production tonight there's a direct correlation to his production and how hard he competed every single possession.
Earlier I mentioned the first 37 minutes. The first 37 minutes you only had 11 fouls, 14 overall. You got to be happy with the discipline on defense tonight?
Yes, I thought we were really good. I thought we played our man before the catch. I thought we were high on the floor, all the words that I always use. I thought Mo and Kubi applied great ball pressure. When they were initiating offense, Jim, they were initiating offense 25, 30 feet from the basket, which always gives you a chance when you're a really small team. We didn't always let the ball get reversed, which is good, so we keep it on one side of the floor. I thought we were committed to our weak side much better. And, again, I think that's because of how hard we were playing. I think you make more shots when you get more stops, and I think you get more stops when you play harder.
You had mentioned the other day you were concerned about Grambling's offensive rebounding. Did that kind of play into your decision to start Chris tonight?
No, he deserved the right to start. We've got to find a way to get Chris to play, but it can't exclusively always be about matchups, and he did okay against 33. 26% of their points coming into tonight's game were on offensive rebounds. 25% of their points were on 2 passes or less, so it was in primary or secondary break, and 24% of their points came from beating guys off the bounce. So that's 3/4 of their points. And I thought we did a great job. I think they had 1 offensive rebound in the first half that didn't lead to a basket, and I think that they had 5 offensive rebounds in the second half that led to 6 points. Is that right? No, they had 3 offensive rebounds that led to 6 points in the second half. I don't know how many points they scored in transition. I don't pay attention to whoever Scott hired for this fast break point deal because it's never right. But we did a lot better job of getting back in transition, and we really guarded the ball. For a long time they had 10, and then when I subbed there at the last 4 minutes of the game, they had 25 points. They had 31 points. That's good.
You mentioned Chris earning this start. In the first half, Jimmy had a dunk coming from the wing. It was really made possible because Chris got in a position and really cleared out the lane. Do you see him really starting to realize how to use his body and position himself?
Yes, for sure. And I was hollering the whole time, Chris, that's your basket. Chris, that's your basket. He's starting to figure it out. He really went through a lot last year being hurt. He never envisioned himself being a player. And then he got to this place and he goes, I guess I am a player. Then he got hurt. And when he wasn't hurt, I was as ruthless as you could possibly be to a good kid, and have continued to be that way up until about a month ago. And now he's kind of like has a glaze about him that I don't affect him anymore, but he's figured out how to be effective within what it is that we ask him to do every day. And as I said, a while back, he's learned that your work is where you get your confidence from, and he wants to be more confident, so he works harder. And as he works harder, he gets a little bit better. And we just need him to continue on that path.
After not playing the last game, Eric got in and found a way to be productive, and you gave him the nod in the first half. Did you see something in practice? Did you see some matchups there that were favorable for him?
I love Eric, and I hope my two boys grow up to be the person that he is. But my two boys wouldn't play if they didn't earn the right to play. And because at the end of the day, I got to make sure my boys get to eat. And you got to earn the right to eat. He didn't earn the right to eat. And he worked extremely hard on Thursday and Friday. He got to play today. Best he's ever played. It was the best he's ever played because he prepared to be the best he could possibly be. I'm an okay coach, but the bench is a great coach. You sit over there and rot, and then you kind of figure out, oh, I may not get to play. And he figured it out. And it didn't take him long to figure it out. That tells you how smart he is.
And a brief glimpse of use. What did you think in the minutes he played?
He's been really good in practice, too, since he figured out he was going to get to play. He's been through a lot, and I mean that in the right way. And he's hung tough every single day. Wasn't here in the summer, talking to him every day. He has no home. He hasn't been home, and he hasn't been home since he came to the States. And he doesn't understand NCAA amateurism or NCAA clearinghouse. And we formed a great bond of trust, and he's learned how hard he has to work, and that's been a chore for him because he's just used to being 7'2" and standing in the middle of a zone and altering a shot. And then he comes to practice every day, and he thought he was playing football, not basketball. And he's been really good. I thought he was okay. We've got to figure out, just like the rest of those guys, where he can help us the most. And once we kind of get going, if we can continue on the path that we've been on since the second half Tuesday, then I think we'll figure out how he can help us.
The 19-0 run where you guys kind of took control, it seemed like obviously was set up by that defensive intensity, get some turnovers and rebounds.
That's it. I don't know if that's a question. I'm not being condescending, but you're right. That's right. We got to get stops. When you get stops, a lot of times your defense turns into offense, and you can only get stops if you're doing what you're supposed to do high on the floor. You can't let them get paint touches, and on offense you got to make sure that you get paint touches. And so I thought we were really good for the most part tonight.